Howdy, my name is Brandon Spiegel, and I'm here to offer conflict management services to help resolve the conflict that is currently occurring between FC Barcelona and La Liga. FC Barcelona is a professional soccer team out of Spain. La Liga is the league in which they play. I understand that there is currently a very political and deeply rooted conflict between the both of them that has the potential to make it to where FC Barcelona would not play in La Liga anymore in the situation that Catalonia seceded from Spain, which would end El Clasico as we know it. FC Barcelona is a soccer team that is a symbol of the Catalans and the regional pride. The Catalans are a group of people that in general feel that they are misunderstood and misrepresented, overtaxed, and not properly treated by the Spanish government. And they have been vying for independence for years, which is shown to the point of where they recently had an independence referendum, and they have independence chants at many of the games that FC Barca plays. However, the team itself does not feel as strongly about independence as they have not said anything publicly for or against the independence movement. On the other hand, La Liga is generally a lot more politically conservative and sides more with Spain, to the point of where the president has openly said that he is a fan of Real Madrid, which is a soccer team that is symbolically viewed as many as the role that Spain has over Catalonia. And in general, they feel that Catalonia does not have the right to secede from Spain, and that the election that they had was not exactly valid and was not authorized by the Spanish government. And even though there is this conflict occurring between both regions, it's extremely important to understand that both organizations have underlying mutual interests that are extremely important to keep in mind, because they both want to be successful not only as an organization but also as a brand and financially, which is extremely important to understand, because if FC Barca was not a part of La Liga, that would end El Clasico, which is a highly anticipated soccer game which millions of people all over the world, that is between Real Madrid and FC Barca. If this game did not occur, both organizations would not be earning as much revenue. It would hurt their image as a brand, because this game is a big part of both organizations' brands, and also make it a lot more difficult for them to succeed in soccer, because FC Barcelona wouldn't be able to attract soccer players as well, and La Liga would have a much more difficult time retaining some of the amazing teams that are a part of your league. So with this being said, I would like to propose some communication techniques that I feel will really be beneficial in helping the both of y'all come together to create a solution. I strongly encourage y'all to have and create dialogue, because this form of communication, as opposed to debate, really encourages y'all to listen to each other's perspectives and work together towards creating a solution that will be mutually beneficial for the both of y'all, and is more of a sense of working together as opposed to one trying to be better than the other. I would personally ask probing questions which would cause y'all to explain your perspective and your side, which will help me better understand the underlying interests that you have in the situation and that relates to your opinion. Additionally, I would strongly encourage the both of y'all to be very active listeners, which is extremely important, because this requires a lot more than just hearing somebody, and it's something that I feel will really aid in creating dialogue between the both of y'all, and will help y'all better understand the perspectives of each other. This being said, I would like to encourage y'all to use some negotiation techniques, and I would certainly encourage y'all to use integrative bargaining, because this will really help create dialogue as well, and it will help preserve the relationship that y'all have, which is extremely important, because FC Barca is currently a part of La Liga, and this will really help to lead to a cohesive win-win situation for the both of y'all. For the both of y'all, especially considering that El Clasico requires some teamwork between the both of y'all. Additionally, I would encourage y'all to think outside the box, come with creative solutions, as in this hypothetical situation where you have two children fighting over an orange, and at the end of the story, the one children just wanted the peel and the other one just wanted to eat the inside of the orange. It's very important to understand that the mutual interests that both of y'all have, and to have creative solutions to the problem at hand. But with this being said, I feel like it is extremely important to be mindful of various barriers that could potentially make it more difficult to negotiate to a solution. With this being said, it's important to come to these talks with an open mind and to avoid having a my way or the highway approach. Where in this approach, you really don't want to come in thinking, okay, this there's only one way that this can be solved for me to be happy. Because in reality, there are many solutions to this open-ended problem. Additionally, I would certainly encourage you all to keep your emotions in the situation as much as out of the situation as much as possible. Although I understand this can be difficult, it's important to speak to each other professionally, as oftentimes emotions can make it very difficult to have dialogue and create a solution that is beneficial to the both of y'all. So with this being said, I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation, and thank you for considering me in my conflict management services. Have a great day.